G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an AML-75, which as best as I can tell means a missile launcher 75. So this weapon is caught somewhere between a javelin missile launcher and a recoilless rifle, or maybe a recoilless launcher, because that barrel is definitely smoothbore. This thing features custom animations, custom sounds, and a little bit of customization to go along with it. It's made by the same person who made that covert laser pistol that I looked at a couple of days back, and I don't think this one is going to be quite as disappointing as what we saw with that little laser gun. So let's get into the customization. First of all, you've got the different missile types, and in this preview section here, all of the projectiles are sitting outside of the weapon, so you can actually see that they change colors and stuff when you switch between the different types of missiles. So there's an AMP version, high explosive, just more damage, slightly better DPS thanks to that. Incendiary, nuke missiles, which are going to be extremely powerful, going by the weapon card here. Plasma missiles, which give you a nice little green projectile, which is kind of cool. Seeking EMPs, that might be a bug. There's a targeting computer you can add to this to actually access more of these seeking projectiles, but yes, there's seeking stuff as well, and this standard missile is also there. Let's go for a high explosive on this thing. We'll move on to the next one. Now, you can have a single mag, as you see right here, or you can have a tube magazine, which adds this secondary tube on the side here, as well as this, the tertiary one. That's your loading system, and you'll actually get to see that during the reload animation, which I think is really creative, so we'll throw that one on there. Kind of a no-brainer to triple the ammo capacity, isn't it? Next up, we've got the targeting module. Right now, it's empty. If you add this targeting module, you get a little bit of a, I don't know, like a graphics card in your launcher there. Just adds that and it allows you to use the seeking ammo. So if you go back over to your projectiles, there's the seeking AMP missile again, but you can have seeking high explosive, seeking incendiary, seeking missile of the nuclear variety, plasma, and standard as well. Worth mentioning, they all use the standard missiles, so you can pretty much pick what you want. So if you want to get raw damage out of your missiles, then there's no reason, if you haven't got the perks, not to choose the nuke missile in any situation if you're not worried about accidentally blowing yourself up, for example. Next, we've got the sights. The basic sight is pretty much like a reflex sight. You'll aim through that little periscope there, and they've done a little bit of trickery here, because if you look at it from this end, you can see right through it, but it's covered by this cool lens here. So they've done some, I don't know, some weird trickery there. You can see right through it from one end, but not the other. So that's kind of awesome. I quite dig that. And you can have an advanced sight here, which gives you pretty much a scope as you'd get on a regular missile launcher, so it, you know, periscopes down into that larger lens, I suppose, and an advanced night vision version of that if you feel like having a night vision. Now, these things are kind of worthless on a missile launch because the missiles travel far too slow to actually make that worthwhile, so I think I'll just go for the basic sight on this one, but it's not to say that I won't experiment with the other sights, but I don't really recommend using them. We've got a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. Something like 2-shot on this thing would be incredible, but we'll leave that off for now. And lastly, we get a couple of paints. So you can have a standard paint right now, gives you that classic US military recoilless rifle color scheme. You can have deco paint, which gives it some gold and black. It's pretty nice, actually. Monster paint, which is cool because you get all these fleshy bits on this side and on the inside of the barrels, and if you turn it over this way, you get this cool Eye of Sauron little setup here and a little secondary eye there as well. That's kind of cute. You've also got Raider paint as well, which is, you know, basic red paint, and they've marked it up with a Sharpie to, you know, let the Raiders know how to use this thing. Yep, more boom, more better. That makes sense to me. Let's go for some standard paint on this one. We'll keep this one basic. We're going to be utilizing this with all of the different types of projectiles, so we'll keep this one basic just so you know which one it is, but yeah, we'll be looking at these other paints in first person and possibly third as well. Anyways, that's our AML-75. I'll show you how to get them and then we'll start blasting. The AML can be bought from most merchants at level 30, and luckily for me, it's on the top of the alphabetical order, so I don't even have to scroll down to see it. Thank you very much. 1,000 caps for this seems reasonable.
You can also craft it on a chemistry workbench under utility.
Alright, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our AML-75 in first person. Check out the drawing and sheathing animations. You flip a little switch on and then some cool lights come on. You see that crow over there? We'll scoop in and we'll shoot him. We most definitely got him. a quick look in third person, and that's what it looks like. Now, despite this thing being what would usually be a shoulder-mounted device, it's clearly off Vikkie's shoulder there, so we're holding it just in front of us like that, which doesn't look too ergonomic. I think a lot of that weight is being carried by our wrists at the moment, but that's fine. We don't mind a little bit of jank. Unless it's in an Obsidian game, then we hate it. But when you actually shoot this thing, it engages in the self-reloading thing. I spoke about this earlier, but check this out. It'll literally grab it from the magazine barrel and slip it into the firing tube, and you'll reload 1 in the firing tube and 2 in the magazine barrel, ready to be done again. So that's really cool. We haven't ever seen that from a missile launcher mod before, which is great. And check out the lights on this thing as I'm firing it. It takes a little bit of time for the thing to cycle, at least in first person it does. But you'll actually see the corresponding lights to indicate when the reload has been completed, which is some really cool attention to detail. I love it. Let's have a quick look at the other one. So this one here, this one is a dragon, you understand, because it's got that monster paint. It's firing incendiary-seeking missiles, and there's the Eye of Sauron at the front there. I don't think it's got a glow map attached to it, but I don't know, maybe further updates we can actually see a glow map on that. That would be sick if it was like a big giant red glowing eye. This one with the decor paint, this one's firing the plasma rounds. The red one is firing the EMP things. I thought I just saw a Chudjack on the front of that thing. It's not, it's close. And lastly, I've got a single-barreled nuke launcher because a triple-barreled version would be overpowered, wouldn't it? So here's the reload animation for that. Pretty simple, but gets the job done. Very nice. Let's shoot stuff. On further inspection, that actually wasn't a nuclear explosion at all. Yes, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna beat this car out of anger. Cop that. Okay, so now we should have nuclear missiles loaded in this thing, so we'll test it. Yep. As the feathers go flying everywhere, we've definitely got nukes in here. So why not start this off with a bang before we head off to use a smaller explosives. We'll find the biggest gang of them possible. That looks pretty good. Fire in the hole. Okay, we've got at least 2 or 3 there, so that's pretty good. Let's go over to our high explosives now, and we'll just shoot at some health bars. I think I hit the mosquito directly there. It's not a huge deal that I can't see exactly what I'm shooting at. Near enough is good enough for these explosive weapons, but I think there are better options than this scope right now. Let's go over to our dragon, because we've got a scope on this thing and some heat seekers on it. Not a different type of heat than incendiary though. We can target their body temperature and not worry about the heat given off by the fire. It's a very sensitive, very highly advanced system that we're having over here. And if we want to dump fire this thing, we just hip fire it, or shoulder fire it, I suppose. Less explosive power, but the extra precision you get from a range like this, it's pretty nice. Also, if enemies are behind cover, just like with regular missile launchers, you can sort of indirect fire it. So you point up in the air and just set the missile's arc on top of them, which worked pretty well there. So as soon as we deal with this guy, we'll switch over to our specialized weapon for dealing with robots, which is our EMP version. So we'll fire a missile over there. And here we go. Oh, well, that was awkward. I was meant to shoot that one with... Oh, they blew the missile up. We've got a new soundtrack. It is Ratchet Deadlock / Ratchet Gladiator if you're in the power regions. As expected, the EMP version not so good on meat bags. So we'll go over to our plasma version. Make sure we get this thing loaded up first. And with the enhanced power out of this thing, we should have an easy time hitting these guys, or at least killing them a little bit. No, I'm trying. There we go. The explosion radius, if you get close enough, 1400 damage will kill them mostly every time there, which is what you want. We've got a couple of gunners sort of gather around together, and they're firing missiles at me, but unfortunately that one was so far off that it did barely any damage. Alright, there's not much else that I need to show off. It's pretty basic. We've seen all of these explosions before, but not in this sort of missile launcher setup. I've got an ally here, apparently. Or someone's got a gun that's busted. It keeps making the firing noises. That's not cool. Well, don't know who that was. I think that was a gun. Oh, it was a caravan guard. Well, you annoy me, so you're going away, friend. That's what you get. This is my fight, not yours. Gee, I wonder what they were shooting at. That's weird. Anyways, we'll just, whoops, kind of messed that up. We'll go up here now. Now this is where it gets kind of dangerous because honestly, I think I'm a little bit too close range to get this to work properly. But if I do this right, I can make use of the massive explosion radius. And this should be a one-shot kill to kill all of these guys in here if I do it right. But I'll do it right from back here. And as luck would have it, none of them decided to hide behind the door of the bomb shelter proportions. Okay, let's go for a long shot here. You know what? Let's go for a crit. And there's one more over there. I see you, friend. This might be the perfect time for the dragon. Indeed it was. What else we got here? One commander. The missile went into a tree, so he dodged that one perfectly. For some reason, the gunners, it looked like they were shooting at each other. Bit of infighting going on at the moment, but not my problem, and honestly, not theirs either anymore. So, yeah, it looks like it's a pretty easy, cruisy, clean sweep for our AML-75, but, you know, there are options to balance this thing properly in the form of playing survival. You know, carrying around this missile launcher and its missiles takes quite a toll on your carry weight, so being able to, you know, spam missiles all day, all night, that's kind of your balancing factor there, which we're not experiencing, of course. Okay, let's use the plasma version on the Swan. First things first, got to get rid of this guy, and then if we get into V.A.T.S range, we can start to do a little bit of damage to him. We're just going to use our crits, I think. We've got 3, and there's our reload there. And one more crit for good measure. It got there in the end. He's still fighting all of his friends down there, so we should have a pretty easy time hitting him as long as he doesn't move around too much. I think I hit a tree behind him there. I'm struggling to hit a gigantic target like that, and this might be a skill issue, but let's see you do better, huh? Alright. The boss music has also been changed to a Ratchet and Clank track. Alright. I think V.A.T.S might be my best friend during this. I might try to use V.A.T.S just because we might summon the mysterious stranger. And if we do, we're probably going to blow him up, but it might make a worthy distraction anyway. So we'll see how we go. It's kind of wild to me that he doesn't have like some sort of anti-friendly fire option, because it makes so much sense for him to, you know, not be able to get completely shot down as soon as he spawns in, right? He might spawn in, like, as I've got the second rocket flying in, so he might literally get killed on the same frame that he appears. Maybe. It's possible. Anyways, now that he's a little bit close, he's a little bit easy to hit, and he missed with that rock. Bit of a slugging fest here. It's like we're playing in original Fallout, where you roll an 85% chance and miss 90% of the time. Gotta say though, the quick 3-round burst in V.A.T.S is rather satisfying. And I think we've got him covered on a tanking race here, so what I'll do is I'll go over to this one. We've got a lengthy reload, but we get the sniper knockdowns here. See how that one curved? Probably should have cancelled before that last shot come in, but it's fine. Alright. That was a good hit. Another one. 3,200 damage. I'm not going to say no to that. And 3,100 to finish the job. Okay, that was kind of a slog, but that's just the way it works with these low DPS type weapons that you see, because, well, just how it works. I mean, they do strong damage per shot, but the DPS, you can tell, is lacking. And I'm pretty sure even on the weapon card, like, DPS of, yeah, nothing's breaching over 700 here, which is telling. You can definitely feel it. But you can hit them hard, and you could argue that it makes it a fairly ammo-efficient approach. Not weight efficient, though. Okay, what if we decide to not have missing in the equation? Well, you get this. We'll start off with a couple of sneak criticals here. Looks like we're getting staggers every time we hit, which is excellent news. That allows us just to keep him off us for a little bit. Ooh, this is introducing Shell Shock. That's a sick track. I love this one. Just wait to hear the guitar slide that happens. It's unreal. You know what? Screw it. I'm turning this up. What a great soundtrack this was. Well, that was nice. I don't think I need to, speak too much of how that weapon did. You saw what happened. Just being able to constantly hit him and stagger him. It was like keeping him just out of his reach and kicking him as he's trying to punch us or something. Welcome to the Glowing Sea. We're going to create a light show with a 1, 2, 3 barreled or magazined nuclear version. But Cap, I hear you say, ghouls are immune to radiation. It heals them. Well, guess what? The radiation ain't going to do shit when I'm fucking nuking them 3 times over. I don't want to get lectured about how ghouls get healed from gamma guns. I don't care. I just want to shoot stuff with explosions. So yeah, as you can tell, this guy's getting his ass whooped, and we might be able to use this guy if we can pacify him. He's sort of strolling in the wrong direction.
Stop right there.
Oh, you idiot. You brought that on yourself. Okay, now you're getting a little bit close, friend, so you're gonna have to... Okay, that... Look, I'm all for double tapping, but that was kind of overkill, don't you think? Okay, where's the big boy? Where is he? There's the big boy. We've got two crits to sucker punch him with, so let's do that. Oh yeah, looks like we're getting the sniper knockdowns there as well. That just might be like a regular nuke thing, and honestly, I don't care about the rest of these bastards. They could poke me from Monday to Sunday, but as long as this guy is out of commission, then I think we're in good shape. Listen, I've got a giant nuke. Wait, no, you're still over there. I can barely see you, thanks to the Todd Howard visual effects. Don't worry, we've got arrow guard on. They don't want to touch me. Do ya? Do you? Actually, some of them might. I bashed for a whopping 7 damage there. Yeah, it's not a good poking stick. You can't put a bayonet on this thing like the vanilla game missile launcher. See, this guy's got the right idea, but I'm not going to let bygones be bygones. No, I'm targeting you with a blood sack. And if this doesn't hit, it's your own fault. That one looked on point. I think we were thinking about firing a third there, but we got pulled out of the V.A.T.S animation. Okay, so I think you get the idea with that little double monster at the end. That there was the M75. No, it wasn't actually. The AML-75. See, I'm getting mixed up with real life weapons. Usually Americans will have a M prefix for model or something before their weapons. M76 recoilless rifle I'm thinking of. That's a Vietnam War era thing. I was having a look at it before I started recording this, but you can definitely see the inspiration on it. It's still used to this day, so it's a pretty good weapon system, don't you think? Anyways, if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out link in the description. It'll be down there. I highly recommend this one over literally, I mean, not literally everything, but it's a very good weapon mod. Definitely better than the the covert laser pistol. It serves its role, does it perfectly, and does something different and unique in the way that it works with its animations as well. So what's not to love? Heavy gunners, rejoice. This one's for you. Go link in the description. Download it. Play it. Shoot stuff. Kill stuff in my name. In Vikkie's name. In the name of Carla, maybe. You know who Carla is? She's part of this mod. Go download that as well. Follow a mod. Kira comes as well. It's a 3-pack. Bye.